You've got to be willing to risk. If you're not willing to risk, you can't grow in life. Life has no power when you're not willing to risk. Somebody wrote this and it was given to me. It said, to laugh is to risk appearing the fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out for another is to risk involvement. To expose feelings is to risk exposing your true self. To place your ideas, your dreams before a crowd is to risk their loss. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To live is to risk dying. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure. But risk must be taken, because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, is nothing. They may avoid suffering and sorrow, but they cannot learn, feel, change, grow, love, and live. Chained by their certitudes, they are a slave. They have forfeited their freedom. Only a person who risks is free. I'm reminded of a missionary who had gone to Africa to work with a certain tribe. They were called the headhunters. And there was a reporter observing him, and for a long period of time he had a limited relationship with him. They would not take him in. And he said because he was tentative and hesitant and fearful, he didn't want to risk having a relationship with him because he didn't want to mess around and have his head taken off. He had this fear, and obviously it showed, and the tribesmen sensed it. So one night he was sleeping, and he made a decision, because the reporter came back and saw him, and he had an incredible relationship with the tribesmen, these headhunters. The guy said, "What happened? How did you convert the distance, the hostility, into a warm, close relationship?" He said, "I had a dream one night." He said, "I was thinking," and he said, "I dreamed." He said, "What's my passion? What's my life goal?" He said, "I always wanted to be a missionary." And he said, "This is the work I love." And he said, in the dream, he asked himself, "How much do you love it?" I said, "I'm willing to die for this dream." And he said, and he thought about that when he woke up, that he loved doing this so much that if it was in fact his passion, that it was in fact his life's work, he's willing to die for it. And so therefore, he said, he had no longer any fear of death. And he went in there and started working with them. And obviously, they picked that up. And he said something else that was profound. He said, when you no longer fear dying, what else can life threaten you with? What else? See, when you are willing to risk all of it, when you're making that kind of commitment, somebody always defined commitment, I love it, said next time you have bacon and eggs, look at it, say the chicken was involved, but the pig was committed. He had to give it all up. See, when you're willing to give it all up, see, that's what life is. See, you've got to be willing to give it all up. When you're willing to throw it all on the line, that's when life takes on a whole new dimension. See, most people won't do that. They won't risk that. So decide to take some risks. You want to break the routine. Most people go through life following that routine, and we know that that is a living death. Going through life, playing it safe, is like a breathing corpse. Because the only way that you can grow, you've got to risk. The only way that you can become your best, you have got to risk. You've got to challenge yourself. You've got to venture into the unknown. You've got to take some chances. Got to put you on the line. So in order to have that sense of fulfillment, getting out of your comfort zone, as you get out of your comfort zone, you expand your whole life. The more you do, the more you realize you can do. You expand your capacity. You expand your potential. You expand your horizons. You expand your vision of yourself and of life. You expand your participation in life. You're involved in life more. You'll get more out of life because you're putting more into life than most people. That's why it's so important that we're willing to take some risks. I don't know exactly what to do. It's okay. You'll find out. You either learn that you're going in the right direction or the wrong direction. And from that you learn. You'll get some feedback. The universe will tell you, where do I get started? Just get started. The universe will give you immediate feedback. Don't worry. You hit your head long enough, you'll get the message. Lose enough money, you'll learn real quick. Get enough knots on your head, it'll be all right.